Comparative judgment is a different way of assessing children's writing. Traditionally, when teachers mark children's writing, they go through each piece of writing one at a time and judge the standard it reaches against a mark scheme. For example, the Key Stage 2 writing frameworks. Comparative judgment is different. Instead of looking at one piece of work, two pieces of work appear on screen for you to look at, and you have to decide which is the better piece of writing. And you're then presented with another pair of pieces, and then another, and so on. And you keep making decisions about which is the better piece. Your colleagues join in and they make a series of similar judgments. And then what happens, once you've completed all of your judgments, is the comparative judgment algorithm combines all of the decisions together and uses them to come up with a measurement scale for every piece of writing. The algorithm that's used to combine together all of the decisions is not new. It was developed back in 1926 by a pioneer of psychometrics, a man called Louis Thurston. And the reason why comparative judgment works is to do with the way that the human mind works. So the human mind is actually not very good at absolute judgment and much, much better at comparative judgment. And that's not just true of assessing children's writing, that's true if you're trying to make judgments about height, temperature, pitch, a whole range of phenomena. So let me just give you an example. Imagine that you're trying to judge how tall people are. Imagine someone walks into the room and I say to you, how tall is that person? You might have a go, you might get quite close, but I doubt you get it completely right. Imagine now two people walk into the room and I ask you who's taller, the person on the left or the person on the right. Now, that's a much easier task and most people get it right every time. So you'll realise from this that comparative judgment also reduces reliance on the mark scheme. Instead of having to look at the mark scheme and decide the exact mark a piece of writing should get, you have to make a much simpler decision, just which is the better piece of writing. You don't need a detailed rubric for that. And I think the best way to actually understand comparative judgment is to give it a go. And it's very easy to take part in an online demonstration. And comparative judgment works well for lots of different types of assessments, but really what you need for it to work well are the kind of assessments that don't have a binary right or wrong answer. So open tasks. So you can use it for art and design assessments, you can use it for design and technology portfolios, you can use it for open-ended science and maths investigations. But the most popular way it's being used in England at the moment in primary schools is to assess children's writing. The best way to use comparative judgment to assess children's writing is to give the children some kind of a prompt. That can be some kind of an image prompt or some kind of a text prompt. And then once they've looked at the image and read the text, to ask them to write a response to what they've just seen or read. And that can be non-fiction, it can be fiction. And then once they've written those responses, you can judge them all together and get a measurement scale for every piece of writing. And the great thing about it is that because comparative judgment is much more suited to the way that the mind works, the process of doing the judging is really quick and really accurate. So it will get you very good results in a really speedy amount of time.
Are you finding